Hi everybody. Just waiting for Tim and Sam. What did we all think of that? Bloody gate flying. Right, Tim's here. Let's add him to the stream. Right, Tim.
All right.
Sam around.
You what?
Sam around.
Sam? I've been watching the game with me. We've been putting cushion. We've been washing all the cushions for the garden furniture. That's a pain in the ass. Well, we're watching it.
This is live, by the way, Tim.
Oh, is it?
I
didn't realise. I thought we hadn't started yet. Don't know where he's gone.
He said coming in on it. Here you go, listeners. Viewers even. Live access to Tim's crib. Like Annika Rice.
He's coming on. I'm depressed.
Yeah. Kind of just like Blackpool of old. In a way.
Yeah, we had our chances, didn't we?
What's Sam doing? Where is he?
He's just coming on in a sec.
It was his idea, this.
I know I came on about 5 minutes ago, and I was sat in the backstage thing for ages. So
I think viewers / listeners, we're going to make this hopefully a regular thing after the game. So if anyone's listening to this and they want to come on, it's going to be a 606 style show where we're going to bring people in one at a time, and you're going to have your say. We're going to respond, and then we're going to knock you off and then get the next person on. So if anyone's listening to this now and they want to get involved, get yourself in front of your computer, get your webcam on, get yourself a beer, and click that nice, easy to read URL. That's your invite. StreamYard.com/SVUPDU86D9. Punch that into a web browser. That's all you need. You'll appear in my little queue, and we'll bring you into the show. Turn off all these notifications. Oh, something's ready. Sam.
All right, how are you?
Saying this is live. Bit bodged together, this viewers / listeners. We'll do this a bit more officially and with a bit more notice next time. More of a kind of a test run. So this is kind of backstage access to the recording of our post-match show. I'm just getting the league. Let's get the football results up. All results. Can you just turn your mic down a bit, Tim? We're getting a lot of...
I'm just on my phone at the moment.
Oh, are you? Oh, right, okay. All right, don't matter then. It's fine.
I
I'll
was.
just do a multi-track. I'll just do a multi-track record and then.
Yeah, I can swap, but I thought we were just doing the quick post-match.
Well, me and Sam have got our heads together and we thought we'd do this.
Lack of communication, I think. Then.
Yeah.
Since we live in the same house, and you told me.
Sam and I only really agreed to do this like a quarter of an hour ago.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I'll just I'll hit the record for I'll do like an official intro. It's Saturday, the 12th of September, 2020. In this special bodged together show at the last minute, we're going to be reviewing the Plymouth score. Blackpool have just been beaten 1-0 at home park in Plymouth. So Sam, Tim, and myself are going to go through the game, quick review. We're going to hopefully take some listeners' comments. So, yeah, that's it. I'm John Aspinall, and this is Seaside's podcast. No episode number. Post-match Plymouth review. Tradition. That's not going to work. I'll just put that back up there. Hi, listeners, viewers.
We have a guest, it looks like, in the...
we have Jeff Embry. Let's bring him in. Jeff.
How's it going?
I've never actually seen your face after all these years.
Well, there you go. Could do with a haircut, but here we are.
You're not how I'd imagine you to look, actually. Right, Jeff. So, have you ever met Tim before?
Not in person, but we've worked together a little bit before with way back with CISA.
Yeah. You were on the committee for a while, weren't you? And we are foreign NATO representative, weren't you, or something? Or
yeah, exactly. Back when Sam was a toddler, I think.
Only a few years ago, that. Come on.
So, Jeff Embry. Jeff, do you want to just introduce yourself very quickly, where you live, how long you split Blackpool away from, etc.? Because we do know you are out in the US and A.
Yeah, I'm in Colorado, just outside of the Aspen Summer Ski Resort. That offer's still open, John.
That free lift pass.
Yeah, get your pass if you can get over here.
What do you actually do out there?
I work for the local government here in human resources, but yeah, I've been over here for about 20 years, and from spent about 10 years in the late 80s, early 90s, growing up in St. Anne's. So that's how I got going as a Blackpool fan. First match was in 1990, watching the QPR FA Cup match.
Excellent. So, what made you go over the States? Was it your job took you over there, or love, that kind of thing?
I was working in hotels at the time. Got a job offer with some housing lined up, so I figured I'd check it out. And now we've got a couple cars and a mortgage and 3 kids. Married.
The rest history.
Yeah,
so you're following Blackpool FC from afar, obviously. So have you watched the game today?
I did watch it, yeah. It was equal parts entertaining and frustrating.
Yeah, that's a pretty good summary. Right, so we're just going to go through a few things throughout the game. Feel free to chip in and give us your opinion. So the first thing we're just going to do quickly is just check out the League One results. If I can get this working in there, if I click that's not worked. Hang on a minute.
I did see Swindon scored 3, so at least we're not starting bottom.
Peterborough bottom, I think.
Are they really?
And the team we all tipped to win the league. So we're good company.
It's the kiss of death, right? So let's get that up then. So, hang on, let's just check how the Nobbers have done.
Playing Swansea, weren't they? Lost
yes, they got beat. Right, yeah. As Tim said, Aki Stanley 2, Peterborough 0, Crew 0, Charlton 2, Donny Rovers 1, MK 1, Fleetwood 2, Burton 1. Damn, Sam, they've won. Damn it.
I thought I'd go and get 3 points there at home today. I just don't think Burton are up to it, to be fair.
Gillingham 0, Hull 2. I said they'd struggle. Standard. Lincoln 2, Oxford 0. Not surprising. Northampton 2, AFC London 2, Plymouth 1, Blackpool 0, Portsmouth 0, Shrewsbury 0, Sunderland 1, Bristol Rovers 1, Swindon 3, Rochdale 1. So, obviously, Blackpool have got beat. I'm just getting used to this software. First thing we're going to talk about. We got beat 1-0. Defence of the defence. Tim, this is something we've talked about pre-match in several pods. The defence within the first 10 minutes was just comical, I describe it as. It was as bad as we thought.
It was disappointing. We seemed to we showed a lack of finesse every time when the defence got a chance of bringing the ball down and bringing it into play. We seemed to be, kicking it anywhere, hoofing it, miscontrolling it, needing more touches than we should do. And I think that created pressure. There was a number of times Sam and I were saying that, we hadn't cleared the ball properly when we should have done, and then we've given it away to Plymouth. They were coming back at us. And the first 10 or 15 minutes, we were under the cosh, weren't we? And we were lucky only to be 1-0 down. I think it's just highlighted the point that we've repeatedly been making, that the defence is a weak link at the moment.
Sam, you're nodding your head in agreement there.
Yeah, just look. I think seeing fans' comments on social media every time the two centre defenders got the ball, it looked nervous, and you looked, as a fan, you were kind of panicking or trying to get agitated that they might make a mistake. And I just don't think Nottingham is up to it. League Two player for me at best. I don't think he can, especially when teams are going long. He misjudged so many balls over the top today. And he, again, didn't really look calm on the ball. And if you're going to play in the Neil Critchley way, you can't afford to do that.
Jeff, what did you think of our centre half pairing? How they fared today?
Do they? I mean, it was like watching Bambi on ice ×2. They were.
Do you know what? It's exactly what I said. I said to Nick's just been round, that the gate, the way the gates and the way they control the ball, they're flat-footed, and yeah, I'll just elaborate on that. Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, I thought the fullbacks did good. I thought Turton did well. I was really impressed actually with Robson today. When he had to switch to fullback, I think he had a solid game. But centre half, no confidence. You need Everett, you need Baptiste, you need someone solid back there that you can rely on. I think if we could get an Everett type next to Ekpiteta, we'd be in good shape.
I think, Tim, we've actually said that, haven't we? We've been championing the cause for an experienced defender, and it was ever so glaringly obvious there today.
Well, Sam and I last night when we were on the preview show, we actually used the same words as Jeff used there, that, I think we need an Evo type player. It's somebody who's going to come in age 25 or thereabouts, who's played at a higher level, who's not in the team, looking for a new focus, and then hopefully, as we spoke yesterday, this Arsenal lad, a bit younger, but plenty of enthusiasm, plenty of skill, who's looking to earn his stripes. I think that's the way forward for us. I'm just so surprised we've gone into the start of the season without having recruited in any respect. And I know we've got Ekpiteta, but I can't remember if it was him now or we just after we went 1-0 down. I can't remember if it was him now or Nottingham who completely misjudged the ball. And their striker, whose name escapes me, the one who scored the goal, got goal side. And to be honest, we should have been 2-0 down. And it was just basics that we didn't seem to be able to cope with. And I think what it probably highlights is that there's a massive difference between friendlies and competitive games. Because what I noticed today was that compared with the friendly games we've watched, where people are standing off a bit, Plymouth were in our faces, weren't they? And we didn't like it, or we didn't seem to like it, and it threw us off our passing game completely.
Sam, Joel Highfield there said defence is weak link, yes, but we've played 3 games and not scored a goal. It's a fair point, really.
Yeah, I think created 3-4 good opportunities today, especially in the first half when we've gone 1-on-1, slid it to. I'm not sure it was on the far side, but I think he could have had a shot beforehand. Good save by the keeper, to be fair. Low down to his on his feet. Free kick from Kai. Comfortable height for the goalkeeper. Nothing really you think would scare him. But you look at the stats. You can have 64, so should we say, % possession. Again, you look at 19 shots on goal, only 4 on target. To me, that ratio has got to be a lot better. And again, credit to the Plymouth goalkeeper. I thought he had a good game, but I don't think really tested him as much as we could have done.
So I've just made a few notes about the some of our players, the new players particularly, and I want to highlight Jerry Yates because I thought he was quite poor today. Ran around like a headless chicken. Jeff, I don't know what you thought of Jerry Yates' performance. Did he impress you at all in his league debut?
I mean, he's good at holding the ball up and getting in possession, but he can never really turn to get a shot off. He seemed to be, I don't know, if you think about it, we've had Hardy came in, struggled last year. Nuttall came in, struggled last year. Yates is coming in, struggled last year. I don't think they're all bad players, so I don't know what it is that's going on, but maybe more target practice this week.
Tim, what was your thoughts on Jerry Yates' performance?
It was forgettable, wasn't it? It was. I struggled to think of anything. Whereas I thought at Kai, because some of the things Kai did and some of the things CJ did, you remember them, and then you think about Yates' performance. I'm struggling to think of something where I went, God, that was good. He was huffing and puffing and delivering not very much, unfortunately.
We had that chance in the first half when there was a ball put into him. Was it by Hamilton? And he kind of should have got his head to it, and it just kind of flicked off his head and went out for a goal kick. Perhaps he should have left that Sam. I think it was kind of lurking behind him. So poor communication from the front too. And your thoughts on Jerry Yates' performance?
I didn't think he had the best game. I think a lot of his first touches were well too heavy for a striker who scored as many goals as he did last season. I get it's only game 1, but again, this is why you have pre-season, to make sure you've got that match sharpness and you're ready to go for the first match. But yeah, that header I think was crucial, especially when we were on top. I don't think you can blame miscommunication. He's gone for the ball, not got enough purchase on it, and if he does, it's 1-1 and it's a completely different game.
So Tim, just going back to the first half, let's review the goal. 2 minutes in, a real soft goal to concede, and another goal that could have been prevented, much like a lot of the pre-season friendlies.
Yeah, I mean, they've had a corner, haven't they? And the ball came out onto our left, and I think it was CJ Hamilton who was back there who really didn't get. In that scenario, you're putting it out, you're putting it down the line, whatever you're going to do, and he gets dispossessed. Cross comes in and seemed to be a free header, and left Maxwell with very little chance of saving it. Good goal, to be fair, good header, well placed, good cross, but also very, very preventable, and we've got to be disappointed about it, because you shouldn't be losing or allowing the team to recover possession in that scenario. You play it safe, and whether CJ felt he couldn't get it down or get it out from his feet, I don't know what it was. I'd have to see it back again, but it just looked.
It's just an error, wasn't it?
Player, it was just a very very bad error.
I mean, Jeff, when the ball's come into the box, the striker, Jeff Cott, he's got right in the middle of the two centre halves. For either of them not to pick him up was criminal, really, and a highly preventable goal.
Right, especially you think about first match of the season. You're alert. You want to give a good first impression, and I can't get in their heads, but I don't know what the heck they were thinking.
Yeah, Sam, your thoughts on the goal? Preventable?
Yeah, I think you look at two parts or parts of the play there. I think that Anderson's got to clear it with his left foot start. I think he has two attempts to clear the ball and both times fails to do so. And then one doesn't get close enough to the crosser. And again, you can't leave a young striker who's known for his movement and been called up to the Wales under-21 squad in recent weeks, that enough space to get a header in. And I don't think there's much Maxwell could really do in terms of stopping it. But 3 or 4, definitely 2, a piece of play where Blackpool could have dealt with the kind of goal better.
Tim, we could have possibly been 3-0 down after 10 minutes. They had a disallowed goal and they had another really good chance in that first period. So we could have been dead and buried in the first 10 minutes. And it is worrying, isn't it? We've lost your audio. No. Go on.
It was we write half the problems onto ourselves just by, I think one of the chances they had. I think Nottingham had a chance. I think it was Nottingham had a chance just to tap the ball to the side to probably Robson. It was who was in space, and it was bad touch, second bad touch. Then he's having to just to get rid of it, gives it away, and it comes straight back at us. And they had a chance out of it. And I said to Sam at the time, I said that was just so preventable just by somebody being able to do the absolute basics. And it just leaves you very very frustrated because you know we can play football, you know that we've got the ability when we've got possession, but if we don't keep possession, then we're going to cause ourselves problems.
Jeff, so I've just brought up the match, the team sheets from the game. Is there anyone out of the new boys there that played well and impressed you, particularly?
Like I said, I thought Robson had a solid game. I thought CJ played well. Mitchell, assuming was short of match fitness, but he played really well. Yeah, but I was thinking as we were watching the first half, and we weathered that storm with just 1 goal conceded out of a possible 3 there in that first 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, we could have been dead and buried, couldn't we?
I know, but on the flip side, could you imagine having like 16,000 on, like Tim and Sam were talking about yesterday, and just quieting the crowd and having a few hundred Blackpool fans going nuts, getting behind the team when we had all that possession in the first half? What a difference the crowd would have made.
It's a decent point. Sam, looking down that list, did anyone particularly impress you in the starting 11? So we've got Maxwell, Turner, Pateta, Nottingham, Mitchell, Ward, Robson, Anderson, Hamilton, Yates, and Kai. And I would say which of the new players impressed you, but the vast majority are new players, aren't they? Well,
I think there's 2 that stand out for me who had a good game. Hamilton and Robson. I agree with Jeffrey. Mitchell had a solid game, but again, like I said, he looked like he was just lacking that match sharpness. But again, that'll come in 3 or 4 games' time. But yeah, I think those 2. Robson got on the ball, looked neat and tidy, looked to switch the play when we're in the ascendancy, and Hamilton, he's going to cause defenders problems with his pace, strength, power. I thought he was unlucky not to maybe bag one in the first half, but again, those chances will come again next week, and I'm sure he'll take them.
Right, Tim, just same question to you, really, looking down that list, which players impressed you and which didn't?
I think I'm with the other guys, to be honest. I think Robson and Hamilton. I mean, Hamilton probably his end product wasn't quite there as much today, but he nevertheless impressed. We ended up listening to the Plymouth commentary because the away commentary I thought was quite poor on iFollow. and they were very, very. They were singing his praises and saying how much of a problem he was causing for Plymouth, which was interesting to hear. I think we've already spoken about Yates, just had a very quiet game. And I think you've got to say that Ekpiteta probably will have hopefully he'll have better games. I thought he looked like he was shaken by the team he was playing, and he shouldn't be. He's a good player, and he should be shown more composure for me.
He is a young player, so let's hope he gets that out of his game and just grows in confidence throughout the season. So let's just move on quickly to positives from the game. Sam, what are the main positives for Blackpool that you can take away from that performance?
Maybe it's me reading too much into possession, because I thought Plymouth sat back the last 30, 35 minutes in the game, allowing us that time on the ball. But you look at that stat, that's positive. But again, a slight negative is that just the touches on the ball weren't quite there. Just need that, again, bit more match sharpness. And we were creating a few chances, but at the end of the day, we didn't. 19 was it shots at goal, but only 4 on target. So we are creating the chances. Just need to make sure we're hitting that rectangle thing that goalkeepers are blocking.
Tim, same question to you. Lift us out of this gloom if you can.
Yeah, well, I think you've got to look at the second half performance and think that there was a good period in that second half where we were the better team. I think the possession stats even at half time were these 61% to us, Sam, and 39 to them.
Yeah, I think 60s.
Yeah, I think that's about what it finished after full time, wasn't it? It was about.
Yeah, so we've had the possession. What we've got to make sure is that we do things with it, and we did create chances. But when we used to sit next to my brother, he used to shout at the strikers, hit the target, and to a certain degree that's a valid point to make, in that we've got to hit the target more when we get these chances, because there's far too many going over wide, as Jeff said, maybe some shooting drills this week.
Jeff, we've had quite a few chances. The keeper has had to make a couple of saves, but they weren't particularly difficult saves, were they? They were easy. I'm thinking that Kai free kick, and there was another chance where he just got down to his left and just quite easily parried it around the post. So on those times we did hit the target, it wasn't anything that troubled the keeper.
Right. There were a couple times where you kind of felt like maybe there was some momentum starting to build, and it just kind of fizzled. And then toward the end there, we were whipping some crosses in. They were coming straight across the box with nobody in the middle. Although, I have to say, in defense of Yates, I've got a feeling he's going to come good next week against Swindon. Don't you think?
I love the positivity.
There you go. I'll change that banner. Positives from the match. There you go, Jeff.
Positives for next week. That's what you need to put.
Right, let's just close off now. Let's look through some comments, what the listeners have been saying, or the viewers even. Right, so what have we got? Right, Jeffkins, really young side, most playing at a higher level than they have before. Lacking a leader on the pitch at the moment for me. Someone to guide them. That is a great point, Sam.
Yeah, someone's a bit further down saying, when's King Charles returning? He would definitely be the leader that we need on the pitch. But yeah, I understand they're playing at a higher level, but they've been picked up by. They've been at clubs last year who have done really well. They've not been at teams who've been down at the bottom. They've scored goals. They've made assists. They've been promoted. So, and I don't think League One's much different to League Two. No disrespect to League Two, but I just think they need to be doing better. And today was an off day, and we go again next weekend.
Dust ourselves down and go again. Hey, Tim.
Oh, goodness.
Who said that? We dust ourselves down and go again. Worst Geordie accent ever. Tim, what do you think of Jeff's comment? I think pretty sure you're going to agree with that, aren't you? Based on what we've been saying on the pod over the last few weeks.
Yeah, I think so. It's you know, if we're looking at next week, and you know, we need to impose ourselves on the game more. And you know, I'm going to say I think we'll have at least one new recruit in there next week, and hopefully, I think we actually need 2 or 3. And and
we've all said it, haven't we?
And we need that captain. We need somebody who, you know, whether, you know, I think it was right that Spearing moved on, but when Spearing was on the pitch, he was constantly, you know, encouraging,
kept things ticking over.
You know, and he would calm it down when it needed calming down, and he would speak to players when they needed speaking to, and he was a leader on the pitch, and we do need that. You know, was Maxwell captain today? Was it Turton? Because it came up that Turton was captain, then Maxwell went up for the toss, didn't he?
I think Maxwell.
Yeah, it was Maxwell.
It was Maxwell. Yeah,
it was. Yeah. It was only on the commentary then it had Turton as captain. I thought that was a strange decision.
I didn't even know Turton was playing until the second half until I heard his name. I didn't know Cash Anderson was playing either. I was saying to Nick, I was like, Cash Anderson's not playing. He was going, I've heard his name mentioned for the first hour.
I thought he was playing a bit too deep, was Anderson. I think he was coming up in the left back area where Mitchell was getting too many players in a short space, and just needs to push a bit higher, because I thought that gap between midfield and the attackers, especially Yates, was just a bit too far. But again, these little things can be fine-tuned during the week, and like I said, I just hope it's a game where we weren't at our top, but we start to come into our stride next week, and as the season goes on.
My sister Ruth has left us a comment. Frustrating is the word for day, and I think that, Jeff, you nodded your head there. That's a pretty accurate description of the performance.
Yeah, frustrating, but I think you can still see the potential there. So, you know, it's one match down. I would love to see Virtue coming in next week for Ward if we play the same midfield. I think it would just let we've got enough skill players up front, and I see Ward as more of a skill player than a midfielder, honestly. I think we miss someone kind of a roll your sleeves up, get in there kind of type. I'd love to see Virtue and Robson play together.
Tim, I think you'd agree with that. You're you extol the virtues of Virtue, don't you?
Yeah,
you see what I did there?
He's a box-to-box midfielder, isn't he? Which I think most teams, you know, depending how you're going to play, but most teams benefit from having that type of player who you know, if you're attacking, you know he's up there, and if you're defending, you know he's goal side of the ball, and it's good to see him on the subs bench today. It was probably just one game too early to bring him back after he's been out, and hopefully, as Jeff says, we'll see him next week. And he's to me, I think he's a Critchley type player as well. I think he's the type of player that he would like to see in his midfield, and I think we've probably got two in that midfield. We've got it's just in the midfield. We've almost got with Ward and with Keshi Anderson and the other 3. We've almost got 5 attackers, haven't we? We've got 5 attacking players and 1 holding midfield player, and I don't think the balance is quite there.
So just going what we were talking about. Mick Sevens just said, when is King Charles returning? Jack O's just said we definitely need a leader. Sam, we are crying out for that kind of experienced player, aren't we? And I think it needs to happen sooner rather than later.
After this, I'll go across the road and knock on his door and see if he's signed yet.
So you're going to Dundee or what? If not, go down, get your boots.
On this dotted line. I was thinking those games, you're saying that leader type, that you know what Charlie's like. He's that winner on and off the pitch, and he'll lift players' ability in and around the training ground and on the pitch. But whether it's him or someone else, just need a player who's going to inspire. I just think, as my dad said, that it's just unbalanced in midfield, and just too many gaps between the midfield and the attackers when those build-up players were coming. Didn't seem to have the options in and around Yates today.
Jacko said, still plenty of time to tweak the squad. need to possibly move Dean and Feeney on to free up more space. Controversial comment there, Jack Okus. I think Feeney would have made a difference today. I actually prefer Feeney to Kai. It may be a controversial statement. Jeff, you're nodding your head there. Do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, I think current state, if you're comparing Kai, who started last season, to Feeney, then I would go Kai. But, I don't know what's going on with Kai right now. But Feeney for, everybody that, can't believe player of the season is getting so much stick. But honestly, for, he doesn't generally put a foot wrong. He might not be as dynamic as some of the other players, but you know what you're going to get. He's consistent. He would have been putting those crosses in all afternoon.
So, go on, Samson. Go on, Sam. Go on.
We were putting crosses in the box today, but at the end of the day, if no one's there, Yates or whoever at the far post or near post to get on them, you're not going to get the goals, are you? So I just think the way that, if you're looking at Liverpool, the way they play, it's fast, dynamic, powerful, strong players. And for me, Feeney doesn't fit that mould. And again, Feeney got so many assists last year, but he was hitting a target man who was always going to win headers. And unfortunately, Yates isn't that kind of player.
Yeah, it's true, but there was no sort of plan B. We were doing the same thing over and over and over, and we really needed to. I could have seen if we had Feeney and Medine, as a plan B. I understand they're not in the plans, and maybe they're going to get moved on, but there was no plan B really.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Yeah,
Tim, it's a decent point from Jeff there. I think it's something we touched on again in previous shows, that in this division, all right, you can play this high press passing game, but sometimes you do need to mix it up. Long balls sometimes work, and getting a fast ball out onto the wings and Feeney whipping it in for Medine, it's an option. It needs to be explored today, really, because when it doesn't work, like you can argue it's not worked today, we need to have that option sort of in our back pocket.
Yeah, well, I mean, I suppose you could see
what a goal.
We scored.
Sorry to interrupt. I thought I was muted on my mic. It's Leeds are just levelled against Liverpool. 1-1, 12 minutes gone.
Shut that dog up. Is it a Leeds fan?
I'll mute him.
Go mute the dog. Pull his tail. Not mute him. Make him go louder. Right, let's just close off now. So let's go far through a few of these more comments. Matt said only 3 points off the top. So Matt's trying to.
That's a positive right there.
Yeah, he's trying to put a positive spin on things, I think. Bison says goalkeeper needed, better defenders. Seen this all pre-season. Rough. Mick 7, a long trip away against a promoted team was never going to be easy. We will see a better result next week. Who do we play next week? Swindon. Have we got a midweek game?
I don't think so.
There's no Mickey Mouse Cup, is there? So Swindon's coming up then. Yeah, as Jeff mentioned before, it'll be an interesting game. Finally, let's close out now. Jeff Kin says, I know we've been linked with Charlie Mulgrew recently. We need a leader and a centre-back. Could be the man unless he's off to Fleetwood. Charlie Mulgrew, Sam, as our resident stato, do you know much about this guy? Scottish centre-half, obviously.
Not too much, yeah. He's obviously, I think, been at up in Scotland, hasn't he, for years, and been at Blackburn recently. I think he's in his 30s. I could be wrong. But again, a player with experience and knows what it's like to wear this captain's armband and demand off the pitch. So, again, if you don't get Charlie, then, well, we'll get another Charlie in.
And another Scottish Charlie. Right, and just finally, this again from Bison's. This result will calm a few down. We'll take a season or 2 to go up. Well, that's a bit of a negative shout to leave the show on. Chaps, anyone want to make a comment about that? Is it a dose of realism?
Perhaps it is, and perhaps we do need that a bit. Maybe we're all getting a bit giddy with performance against Liverpool and Everton. And the reality is, people, this is a scrappy division where you've got to fight fight for the ball. I don't think we fought enough for it today, and we didn't show enough. As I said before, we didn't show enough composure, and we need that. If we're going to keep it, we need to keep possession. We need to keep composure, and we need to take our chances.
Sam, closing thoughts?
Yeah, again, I'm just hoping it's an off day at the office. One of the longest trip of the season. Again, I think all hopes were up at this being 2-0 up at Liverpool. Second half was a different story, but I just thought we'd have started a little bit stronger today from the off. Really pressed them. But again, a fair credit to Plymouth. They're on the up. They've got momentum after gaining automatic promotion last year. And in the end, probably did deserve all 3 points. But we go again next week. It's a long season. I'm sure we'll be up there or abouts come May.
Jeff, and just sign off now. What are your final thoughts on the game?
I agree with Bisons. I mean, I think we've got to give it a little bit of patience here. If you look back to the team that started last season, Turton and Feeney are our longest serving players, and Feeney's likely on the way out. So this team has a lot of work to do to get playing together, and we need to be patient with them. You can see the seeds of something now. So I'm hopeful.
Green shoots, eh?
Yeah.
Right, Jeff, thanks again for joining us. What time is it out in the States at the moment?
It's 10:45.
10:45, right. Go on.
Yep.
There'll be no snow there yet, so go and run up a hill or something.
All right, I'll run up a hill.
Or a mountain. Right, thanks for joining us, Tim.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sam.
No worries.
And to all you viewers and listeners out there, thanks for tuning into these. Do tune in every week. Sam's got his 5 Night Preview show every Friday at 8. Sam, isn't it?
We're gonna come and join us.
Yeah, we're going to be doing these after the match, every game, and we'll be coming back to you with a full fat pod, as we have branded it. The normal rubbish that we spout on a weekly basis. So thanks for downloading, thanks for watching, and thanks for listening. And un, deux, trois.
Up the pool.
Up the pool.
Just a few quick messages before you head off. I'd just like to ask, if you haven't already, to please leave us a rating and a review on iTunes. It helps the show grow, gain more exposure. So if you go to seasiderspodcast.co.uk/review, that'll redirect you to the iTunes review site. So if you could do that, that'd be greatly appreciated. Just to make you aware, you can listen to this show on all major podcast platforms, including Spotify, Pocket Casts, and Google Podcasts. And if you're not listening to this on a podcast app, I highly encourage you to do so, because it is the best way to listen, because you get them sent automatically. If you're on social media, we are on there, so please do give us a follow. If you're not doing so already, we're on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Seasiders Pod is my handle, so I'm sure if you search for that or just Seasiders Podcast, you'll find us on there. So if social media is not your thing, we do have an email list. So if you want to sign up to that, you'll get an email whenever we do release a new show. So go to seasiderspodcast.co.uk/email and sign up there. And finally, if you do enjoy what we're doing here and you want to chip in a few quid every month to help pay for our production costs and gear upgrades, please consider joining our Patreon supporter program, where you'll get lots of exclusive content and services in return. So head on over to seasiderspodcast.co.uk/support to find out more. Right, I promise that's the last you'll hear from me. See you on the next pod. Over and out.